Hello there. This is an old forge. I think this is called burnt orange smooth bone. It's a Stockman pattern. It's old forge is a new knife line coming out from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. This is a Belgian blue whetstone. This is actually a vintage conical, natural conical that has the yellow conical on one side and the Belgian blue stone on the other. The Belgian blue is, I think, a lot of people say it's around 4,000 or something like that, 4,000 grit. I don't know, but it's a conical. This is a chunk off a Japanese suedo, I believe is what it is, but a Japanese natural stone. And I'm going to raise a fairly heavy slurry on this Belgian blue. See how beautiful purple that slurry is. I love this stone. And I'm going to refine the edge that Smoky Mountain Knife Works put on this stone from the factory with this Belgian blue. Now, I've not ever used this Belgian blue before. Normally I work to a burr, but I don't know. I should be able to work to a burr with this stone, but I'm working with a slurry, and it's quite possible that that might negate any kind of burr formation, because I've never really tried this before. But we're going to see. So what's everybody sharpening? Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a circle pattern on this stuff. Because what I'm doing is I'm experimenting. I know that people use this stone and a conical, by the way, for sharpening knives and tools. Pretty sure that's what somebody was using this one for before I got it. But I've never done it. I have always considered them to be a razor stone. We're going to see. And I'm not really going to concern myself so much with a burr, although I am going to look for one. Because you don't have to work toward a burr. You can just work toward a sharp bevel, either like that, or just, you can take a knife and just go like this. Until you achieve a sharp edge. You ain't got to play around with it in any other way. And this is already shaving the snot out of the hair on my arm, and it is sharp as heck. I love that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to thin the slurry out. Since I know I have an edge, what I'm going to do is work to try to refine that edge. There's a little bit of a kind of a roughness right about there that I can kind of feel. So we're going to try to and it's already lessening. But this is another technique you can use. You don't have to do any kind of burr formation if you don't want to. But the thing with it is without a burr formation, you don't know whether or not you've got the hole of the bevel. So you have to be more diligent to check and make sure before you move on to a higher grit, or in this case a thinner slurry. And then I'm going to move to the yellow part of this conical at some point. But before you move on to that, to something else, to refine even more, you have to make absolutely sure you got the whole of the bevel. I want to thin that out quite a bit. The heavier slurry removes metal faster, or removes scratch pattern faster, or however it is you want to look at it. And when we thin it out, what you're doing is you're asking the stone to cut finer. And I may not go to that conical layer. This is feeling pretty doggone good right now, just on its own. I got hairs that are jumping away from the edge of this blade. Lovely. And no burr, none whatsoever. I'm going to go with more circles, but very, very light touch. And that's smoothed out lovely, the bevel has. to do now, I am going to flip over to the conical side. I'm going to rinse stone and the knife, and I'm going to raise a light milky slurry on this stone. And I'm going to do a slow, methodical I just honed the razor on this side of this stone. Don't know when you'll see this, whether you'll see it before this or after it. But I can already see this conical starts out with a yellow slurry, and as it cuts steel, the slurry tends to turn sort of a blue. See that? That's how fast that stone is cutting the steel. And I'm going to dilute that a bit. And this is just, I mean, I have Arkansas stones, which is what I normally use on knives and tools. I prefer them. But this is just kind of new knife, playtime, that kind of thing. And that's it. What are you doing? You're doing lovely things. Oh yeah. Very nice. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.